A new movie came out on Paramount Plus. Now, of course, Paramount Plus has been making a lot of waves lately. They've been making a lot of news, right? Like it is what CBS All Access was. They've morphed into Paramount Plus. They've been making some big moves, announcing big shows, big movies, all this kind of stuff. And they're come out of the gates with a movie that nobody's paid any attention to, despite the fact that it's like a sci-fi epic with Mark Wahlberg and one of my favorite actors on the planet, Chiwetel Ejiofor, called Infinite. So Infinite dropped on Paramount Plus yesterday. And man, I gotta tell you, is this movie awful? Oh my God, this movie's bad. And here's the funny thing about it. The funny thing about it is that if I sat down, like if Mark Wahlberg came over to my house, which of course he does often, lying. But if Mark Wahlberg had come over to my house with like a little 4-page outline of Infinite and said, hey, take a look at this, Campea, tell me what you think. And I just read a 4-page outline of it. Guys, I'm not kidding. I would have said it sounds brilliant. It really does. Now, when we watched the trailer, Rob, you and I were talking about how it felt a lot like it has a little bit of Assassin's Creed. It's got a little bit of Highlander. You know, these guys who have the ability to remember their past lives and all their experiences. So the basic gist of the movie is this. You have this race of beings called infinites. These are people with the gift of remembering all their past lives, and they're able to carry over all their memories, skills, knowledge, everything as they do. But these infinites are broken into 2 separate groups. There are the groups called the believers, which believe that they have this gift as a way to benefit the world and mankind and to use their knowledge to help push mankind further and do better and all that kind of stuff. But then you have another group of infinites called, what are they called? The nihilists, which believe that this thing is a curse and all they want to do is die. They just want to die. And it's because like they can't end because as soon as they physically die, they come back to life. So the nihilists have come up with a device that will wipe out all life on Earth. Because if there's no life on Earth, you can't be reincarnated. And that's all they want. They've lived 1,000 lifetimes and they just want to die. And so there's this one guy who is the leader of the believers, who is, of course, Mark Wahlberg. But in this life, he hasn't been able to remember his past lives yet, which is what you kind of get from the trailer. Chiwetel Ejiofor in this is great. Chiwetel Ejiofor always delivers no matter what. And so he plays his role to perfection. I mean, it's crazy. It's like if this was a better movie, it might even be an Oscar contending kind of performance that he gives. The dynamic between him and Mark Wahlberg isn't bad. But the problem is the dialogue throughout this entire thing was cringy, like absolutely cringy. Like every time they talked, especially Mark Wahlberg. And again, I'm not pinning this on Wahlberg's performance. It's the dialogue he was given. But the dialogue was absolutely atrocious and terrible. It made every scene in the movie feel like a joke and unbelievable. And it honestly felt like this was a great idea for a movie that they just couldn't execute and they just couldn't deliver on. And it's really unfortunate. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say avoid Infinite at all costs, because like I said, the basic idea of the movie, while it is things we've seen before, for sure, I'm not saying it isn't anything we haven't seen before, but it's really it's a nice package. It's just badly executed. And unfortunately, it ends up being a little bit of a waste of a time. But I don't know. If you want to check it out, go and see it. Question is for you guys. Have you seen Infinite on Paramount Plus? If so, maybe you enjoyed it. That's the beautiful thing about movies, man. It's all subjective. If so, tell me your thoughts. Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Okay, guys.